Computer.
So we're gonna roll with the Met Death Madness audio because I'll tell you what, this season can't end quick enough for either of our teams. It's just one of those things where our teams are brutal, and we'll get through both the Giants and the Jets games. But yeah, we're not putting out new content. We're just letting Met Death Madness, the the one that Novak had
We're gonna
created for us.
we're rolling with it for 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, we're rolling with it 3 weeks in a row.
To all listeners,
It's
I
our intro.
promise we have not mailed it in. I can promise you that.
We are
But
mailing it in.
we're mailing it in for the intro. That's
Good.
for sure.
I'm telling you, the Giants better not mess this up and grab a win
Oh,
either one of these last two games because
dude.
I'm going to be furious if they
Cardone,
don't grab
I'm
this.
gonna mention that because we're playing the Raiders,
Yeah.
who is a likely candidate to win, but I'll talk about that based on what we
Okay.
saw this past week. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it needs to happen for you guys.
Has
It
to
needs to
happen.
happen for me. It needs to happen for New York. It needs to happen for Met Death. Like
Yep.
it is the most it needs to happen for the NFL. If the NFL had any semblance of understanding of how the world works, you want New York to be good. This helps both teams. If the Giants lose out, trade with the Jets, get all your picks, you rebuild your roster, we get our quarterback, everyone's happy, and
It
the
all
NFL will
works.
be lot better
Yeah.
off
Yeah.
because we have more to give you than any team out there. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
You're right, man.
Yeah. And I'm looking at this now, and we're actually in Vegas. So we're away. But before we get into everything, let me give a shout out. So hello, Orem, Utah, population
Whoa.
98K.
Utah.
It was named Provo Bench before, but changed after Walter Orem, the president of the Salt Lake Railroad, brought people to the region. So before that, it wasn't a big town. Now it was. So they went from Provo Bench to Orem, and unfortunately, it was the spot of where um, Charlie Kirk was assassinated.
Oh,
It's also
Oh, right.
where where
that's how I knew that
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
town.
yeah. So it's also where there's an annual event called Orem Fest. Used to be called Summerfest, but Milwaukee threatened legal action saying, "Whoa, whoa, 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 we own Summerfest, you guys don't." And so they had to change it. And it's also the home of Roma Dudze and the Osmonds.
Oh, the Osmonds.
The
Yeah.
Osmonds.
And all their teeth.
Donnie and Marie, which was always a weird thing that you like. There was a brother and sister act. It was so strange, that whole thing,
Oh, it's just
right?
bizarre. Totally bizarre. They,
Just
yeah, just, yeah. Definitely too, just weird, man. Like
they were
that
too
relationship.
close,
Yeah.
and it was
Too,
strange, and
yeah,
no one
exactly.
thought anything of it back then. But
Like they
looking
had
back on it now,
yeah.
that
Had
doesn't
like
happen
pet
today.
names for each other,
Yeah,
it
it was
seemed
so
like.
weird.
Yeah, it's just bizarre.
And it's
Bizarre.
they're from Utah as well.
Yeah, so
Utah's
I
a
don't know
great
what the
state,
hell.
don't get me wrong, but
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
So Giants and Vikings. I gotta tell you this, and I wish Mike was on tonight. We haven't mentioned this. So we are the three angry Giant fans. Host Scott, Giant Mike, Cardone, and Jets fan Novak. Giant Mike is not with us tonight. He's at his dad's place down in Florida, and he's celebrating Christmas down there. Um, I wish he was here because this Giants game to me was just a very strange game. There was something off from the start. I I I don't know what to attribute it to. But we went for it in fourth down early on, 4th and 5 from inside the 20 and missed down 3-0. Why we didn't kick a field goal to tie it, I have no idea. I'm not going to get into that. But I don't know if we're actively tanking. I don't know if there's a league wide conspiracy here because of the gambling. I really don't know what's going on. This game was very strange. We had a pick six happen, and there was not a flag thrown on the all 22 that anyone could see. Normally if there's someone off sides at the snap, the guy on the side's like, woo, he throws a flag from his hip. That didn't happen. So not only did that happen, there was a pick six. Giants ran all the way back. They were about at the 10-yard line when all of a sudden a little flag moniker popped up on the screen. So I I don't want to say there are strange things going on. I will say this. If you take that touchdown away, it really hurts the chance of going over in that game. Um, I don't mind it because Novak said we need to lose, and I'm good with that. But it's really tough because we took the ball out of Dart's hands. We ran the ball like 15 straight times to start the game. Just a very strange game all around.
Strange game, Scott, but a classic, absolute legendary classic Met Death game. Giants at
Exactly.
Met Death. Like in terms of like, what's the fucking game plan? Like what is right? We've seen so many of these kinds of games. And Scott, before Novak and I were just talking before we came on, all of us, and again, we've had this for years now, I feel like, where it's just this bizarre dynamic. Whereas I'm watching this game, still getting pissed at certain things that happen or don't happen in the game, whether it's play calling or what you name it. But at the same time, desperately wanting to lose. Actually, when was it Holland who I think was returned
Yeah.
the pick six
Holland
and like
return pick
yeah,
six.
and as he's running it back, I got to be honest. At first, you're like, yeah, and then all of a sudden, you're like, holy shit, we're gonna win this game, aren't we? We're gonna win this fucking game, and we're gonna blow the number one pick again. I can't believe this is happening, even though I'll be in the first early. So when it was called back, again, my emotions were sort of like, like God damn it, but at the same time, like, all right, calm down, everyone. This is good. You want this. So as a fan, like, how do you break this game down? It's the most bizarre thing. I watched the game, guys, in multi-view the entire game. I'm not even going full screen with the Giants. Like I'm at home here watching the Giants on multi-view, and I got the volume on other games because it's so pathetic to just listen to Jonathan Vilma. First of
Oh,
all,
I have my thoughts on Vilma later, but
okay.
yeah, keep
Yeah,
going.
Vilma. Yeah, well, Slayton had to again. Slayton week in and week out had that. Has a brutal drop. And wasn't it Vilma who said something or one point? We were going at it on the thread at that time, our text thread going where Vilma again was shocked that Slayton dropped the ball. Listen, guys. I mean, this game's not worth breaking down. The only thing left is to lose out. Um, get the number one draft pick, and then so I know we're going to talk about that a little bit. I do want to mention. I don't know if you saw this. I'm going to read this. I think Greg had sent this forward this to me. It's a quote from Jackson Dart. I don't know if you guys saw this, but I'm just going to read it word for word. This is Dart. Honestly, I'm just fed up. Every week feels like the same battle. We can't seem to get out of our own way. The team's losing. I'm stuck in the pocket getting hit, and now even my good luck charm's falling apart. It's like nothing's going right, and I'm losing faith in how long I can keep pushing through this. So
God, he said that as a rookie?
that's right. I mean, you know what, Dart? I almost had to say,
God.
like, hey, buddy, you're 15 weeks. I've been doing this for 15 years now. Sorry, man. You got to choke on it.
Well,
So,
but I have to say this, Cardone, too, and this is going to be one of my points about Kafka. Look,
mm,
this guy is coaching not only for this year, which we know he's not going to get, but for future coaching jobs.
yeah,
And he went out there and he said, okay, Giants, we're going to run the ball the first 15 plays. Takes the ball out of Jackson Dart's hands. And would you not, if you have Jackson Dart, let's say you don't want to run him, but would you not at least have him back there throwing 30, 35 times a game just to showcase him? So
What's
I'm
yeah,
almost as mad as at Kafka than anything else because
no
as
doubt.
far as Dart is concerned, Dart wants to play. There was a lot of stuff that went on in that game with Dart, but Kafka basically said, we're not going to throw the ball. We're not going to let you try to win this game. And for me, Dart's the best player we have. Now, maybe
Yeah.
he's going to go to other teams and go, guys, look, I tried to lose because that's what the Giants want me to do. And I'm perfectly fine with that. But as a fan, this sucks in the meantime.
that this game plan made zero sense.
0 cents.
There was
Zero.
none. There was
Because you
no
think
game
about
plan.
you have Jackson Dart, great. Either let him play or sit him. But don't do
Yeah.
this like bullshit, like we're just going to keep him safe and run it 100 times. If that's not his game. So what you're not helping
You,
anyone with this game plan that you had for him. They were playing scared.
But
of Brian Flores' defense, in my opinion.
you know what it is, guys? Because here's the thing. Like I'm thinking about it this way. Like if Dart doesn't play, let's just it's a coach's decision. He just
Right.
plays. Well, then Kafka and the Giants are telling the NFL world we're tanking, man. We're losing
Exactly.
on purpose. So
Yeah,
they throw Dart out there, right? Because so it disguises that, but then there's no fucking plan to win the game, which
Correct.
right. So and then which I don't know what's worse because it looks so disgusting. And a guy like Jackson Dart as a rookie, like he's not thinking about, well, shit, we're gonna get the number one pick. So like as a player, starting quarterback, you're not thinking that. You want to
No.
go out and have the best statistical game you can and win the game and do all those things. Jackson Dart's not thinking about fucking
But
draft position. Like coaches, managers, fans, we like everyone else is except the players.
But wouldn't Kafka, why would he want to call a conservative game? He's got to at least show he's not going to get the Giant job, but shouldn't he
right.
want to show his abilities
Exactly.
for the
You would
next
think
job?
Novak, right?
So
Exactly.
something is so fucked up in that
Broken. Something's
organization.
so broken,
And
dude.
nothing
the
makes
word.
sense.
Yeah.
And that's why I was saying in the beginning, this is an odd game. It was a strange game because there were a lot of plays here that we never saw the conclusion of.
Yeah.
So, Carter was called for an offsides on Javon Holland's pick six. We never really saw a replay of that. And when I went back and looked at it in real time, did look like Carter was offsides. There were a lot of penalties that happened in this game that they did not give us replays on.
Yeah.
Not only did they give us replays on, but they just basically blew right through them. In this game, there were 22 accepted penalties called by both teams.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you can go all day long about officiating and penalties and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, this game made no sense from a Giant perspective at all.
No, it didn't. But what I'm saying too is that there wasn't any sense from a gameplay standpoint. There wasn't any sense from a refereeing standpoint. This game didn't make any sense whatsoever.
No.
Now, when I looked at the breakdown, the only thing I could think of is that the over had a lot of money on it, and if the Giants had returned that touchdown early before the half, we would have been about three-quarters of the way to the over. Now, again, I don't want to talk about betting and conspiracies, but for me, there's a lot of stuff wrong with this because from the alt 22 view, there was not a flag. Like I said, there was not like a guy going, yeah, throwing the flag immediately. Like you normally see the guy on the sideline throw the flag up.
Yeah.
There was
Especially
not
if,
a flag.
especially if it's neutral zone.
Visible. Yeah.
Especially if it's neutral zone, right, guys? Because that's a pre-snap flag,
Exactly.
really, when you think
Yeah,
about it.
it is.
And then as soon as the guy has a chance. So Scott, I think to your point, right? That's one of those where that comes out immediately when as soon as the ball snapped. So, and you're right. And I saw a couple other things, and I know we talked about it. So I don't want to, I don't want to like step on the point you're making here, Scott. But you're right. There's a lot, not only in the Giant game, but I saw a few other games. I watched, I bounced around the league a lot yesterday. And there were a lot of games where like you're not seeing fucking replays anymore for some reason, or you're getting like they're not showing certain angles, or I don't know what's going on. But it's true. You're not. There was especially in the Giant game, Novak. I don't know if I mean I know you're watching the Jets probably the whole time, but like I have to say there were a couple plays where on flagged plays you couldn't get a replay.
Yeah,
Nothing came up.
They didn't show a replay,
and nothing. And they had, and it's one of those where they have opportunities too, and they're just showing the sidelines, or they're showing, somebody, they're isolating somebody. Who knows, man? Again, it's just this whole thing sucks. Everything just sucks, man. This season sucks. It just sucks.
All of it. It all sucks.
I thought about it yesterday and last night as I'm watching even the Patriots and Ravens. Teams have playoff implications and they're going for seedings and this and that, and we just sit here 2-13 with we're not in the league. The Jets, we're not in the league.
No, we're not.
Well, when you look at the Jets and the Saints, holy cow, that's disgusting too. I mean, the Saint. How do the Jets make the Saints look productive? You got Taysom Hill throwing, touchdown passes. Look at, he's just yucking it up.
Yep.
Tyler
Well,
Slough or whatever his name is, he's throwing touchdown passes.
I can
I
tell
mean,
you
Novak,
why.
it was ridiculous.
I'll tell you exactly why. The players know they're tanking. It's so
Yeah.
obvious. You've got Tyrod Taylor, and like we know Justin Fields sucks. He's healthy too. They're not playing them. They're playing an undrafted free agent quarterback. Garrett Wilson is not. He's healthy. He's not playing. You absolutely 100% see what the Jets are trying to do here. The players aren't told to be tanking. The organization is doing it, and by product of that,
Yeah.
the players are going, "Fuck this." I'm going to make business decisions for myself, not get myself hurt. I'm going to put in minimal effort, and I'm going to get the hell out of here after the season, or I'll stick around because they have no one else to get to take on this team anyway. So
Right.
they're mailing it in, and I'm not going to get to my. I'm dancing to my pet peeve here, but this season is too long. Like it's too much. These
Yeah.
teams that suck so bad right now. What are we doing for the next 2 weeks? What?
And we've had the little E next to the Giants in the
You've been out for like
standings for
five
like
weeks.
5 weeks.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
there'll be a total of 7 games. Think about that. 7.
For basically exhibition games.
It's like half the season.
Yeah.
And it's agonizing. I don't know, man. Oh man.
No,
And
and
in a league where we've expanded the playoff spots, do we need to add another one? Do we have half the like we're at 7 now per conference? Should we just add another fucking wild card team and give nobody a bye? Like
man,
the number 1 seed, you're not going to get a bye now either. We'll just have an extra one. Will play 8 and so on. We're the number 1
talk,
seed. You don't even get a bye now. Like why? Just add the extra game. What does it matter?
yeah,
You know, just
seriously. But
yeah.
why don't you just do two two playoff seasons of 16 teams in each league and have a conference of 32 games?
That's it.
Just 1 in 16 and then whittle it down to the end and just make it a big fucking tournament.
And even if they added another wild card spot, like Giants and Jets, we still can't compete for a wild card. Like we
Wild
still
card.
can't be in the mix. I
No.
just think about it though. Like just a wild card, let alone divisions and seedings and all. I mean,
Not
it's a
even close.
miracle.
We're not sniffing it.
No.
And you know what's
Disgusting.
funny about this is that this is just our discussion about this, but like we're not even talking about like around the league and things like that.
I
Like
know.
these are just our teams.
Yeah.
And our teams, as bad as they are, there's a lot of good stuff going on around the league.
The league's great. I mean, not great. No, I take that back. The league had some great games this week.
Yeah.
Thursday and Friday were two of the
Wild
best
endings,
games of the
yeah.
year, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they were incredible games. The league had some great games this week, but the Jets and Giants are just they're effed,
No,
man.
no, that's not the NFL.
It's not.
That's the CFL.
Yeah, and I'm at the point now, guys, and I know we've been talking about this every week now, it feels like, but I talk about it even, just to like, friends, coworkers, what have you, and just I'm at a point now where like I don't know when this is going to be fixed, if it's going to be fixed, because people ask, like Cardone, who do you want as your next coaches? I'm like, I don't know, I don't know if it, I have no idea. I get
Yeah.
triggered just by answering these questions. I don't even know, like, I don't have answers for any of this stuff. I don't know anymore. Usually you have an idea of like, well, if we just need a tackle. That's all we need, or we just need what we need one defensive end. We need one guy that can rush and everything else is fine. The Giants, I just feel like there's just holes everywhere.
I think
When
Like,
I
and the
think
more
when Novak talks about us, wanting to be the number 1 pick so we can trade with the Jets, we would get the draft capital to be able to fill some of these holes.
well, you have to. Man, I'm glad you said that because I brought this with these stats tonight. So next year, the Giants are 17 million under the cap. The Jets are 95 million under the cap.
mm,
So when you're only 17 million under the cap, you can't go out and get free agents to fill your gaps. You've got to do it through the draft because they're gonna get them cheap, right? So
yep.
doing that with the Jets is exactly what the Giants needs because you can do that. You can fill gaps with really high draft choices for the next first round, second round, third round this year, and then you don't have to go out and buy free agents. The Jets have the ability to not have to do that. So they can go out and get free agents, but they need a lot more. much less talent than Giants. Giants are just horribly coached. It's a disaster of an organization. And then in 2027,
They are.
you're 112 million under the cap. The Jets are 200 million under the cap, which
Yeah.
is, I look, and I understand there's a lot you can do with cap manipulation and, pushing money out and all that kind of stuff, but it's not a great position for the Giants to be in. And so the more, in my opinion, the more that Dart plays and plays bad, because he was bad. He had Justin Fields numbers this week,
He
33 yards
did, but
passing.
he did, and I'll
Not
give you
his
that.
fault.
But
Not his fault. But he had bad numbers. But the more he plays and doesn't play well, the less chance you have of getting the coach that you absolutely need. And I think you need a GM coach combination that is smart, not coming together. And I'll get into that in a little bit. But
Yeah. No.
real quick, Scott, I think my favorite stat that I saw come out of yesterday, because I barely even paid attention, and I usually like to look at the box score and all those things. I like to do that, but now it's so pointless. But my favorite one, Dart, and I can't believe this is such a small number, was Dart pressured on 47% of his dropbacks.
Yeah.
So think about this, guys. Again, I mean, that every other dropback, he's running for his life. This is the same. This is the Daniel Jones era. It's the same bullshit.
And Cardone, the worst part about that was we ran the ball so often. So not only did we run the ball so often, but we ran it on first and second down so that everyone knew we were going to throw it on third down.
Correct.
And Dart ended up having terrible numbers, and his actual performance didn't meet up to that, because we just pigeonholed him and to say, okay, you're going to have to throw it here. And he threw a dart to Slayton that was dropped. He threw a dart to Johnson that was dropped and picked. And it's one of those things where this is getting uncontrollable. And I hope this doesn't ruin Dart, because, the whole fact that we're tanking or possibly tanking, if this has an impact on Dart's psyche,
Correct.
it's not worth tanking for me. You know what I mean?
That's a great point. And Greg and I were talking about this a little bit earlier today. Are we already 15 games in? We better not have ruined this guy. I mean, I don't want to go as far as to say, but but that's like you said, the psyche and all those kinds of things. That quote that he made, if that is verbatim, and that's what he's already talking about. I don't even know if I have the faith, to deal with this right now. And again, I think I mentioned it on last week's pod. These rookies that come into the league, for obviously high draft picks, they're coming from very successful programs, used to winning all the time. They come into the league to a bad team. These guys are not used to losing. They're just not used to it. They've been winning all through high school and college, and instead they come to the NFL, and especially to a team like the Giants that fucking can't get out of their own way. You got Mike Kafka, who can't even seem to put a ski hat on. He can't even put it on straight. Did you see Kafka's hat?
He couldn't look more like a dork if he tried.
Unbelievable.
I mean, it's unbelievable, right?
He's got the Uncle Leo eyebrows, right, first of all, and then he's got this fucking ski hat on, sideways. I'm like, don't you, God damn it. This guy's apathetic.
Yeah. That's why you guys, you cannot, and I'm going to say it again, and I don't care, cannot get a first-time head coach and a first-time offensive coordinator. When you have a talent like that at quarterback, when you have a talent like that, you cannot have two guys learning on the job.
I'm completely with you, Novak. There's a lot of talk about Shula or there's another guy that they've been talking about, but I'm with you. You have to go.
One of the two has to be a proven guy.
Yeah.
Proven offensive coordinator that maybe was a head coach at one point, or a head coach that has coached before. The Giants cannot go that direction.
And here's the thing. Yeah. It's got to be from a winning tree.
Something.
A winning franchise. Let's not hire Shane Bowen from the Tennessee Titans again.
No.
Let's not get a guy from a team who's 4-13.
Don't get Lou Anarumo or something like that.
I'm saying, go get a guy from McVay or Shanahan or one of those guys' trees. Someone from a team that is in the playoffs and is winning divisions and stuff. I don't want to see and the Giants hire some schmuck from the Saints or something like that. No more.
No
more.
And I think
hire from a winning franchise.
and your GM, I'm telling you right now, is going to be the assistant GM at Detroit, Ray
Oh,
Agnew, former Giant.
hey, our GM has to go. So I'm with that, Novak. You have to get rid of him. And I'll say this around the league, when you looked at what happened this week, ton of good games. We had Seattle Rams, Steelers Lions, Green Bay Chicago, Carolina Tampa Bay. You had New England Baltimore. All these games are showing you these are teams that are ready to play in the postseason, and our teams,
Not in the
no,
same league.
not
Not
at
in the
all.
same. It's not in the same league.
We're not in
There
the
were
same
some.
league.
I mean, look, we have been ripping and killing Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson since the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
We've got to take an L on that one, boys, because this team is for real, and I
Yeah.
can't believe it. I hate saying it because I can't stand either of them. That was impressive what they did. What was that, Friday night?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
will say this though,
Yeah.
Novak.
Saturday night. Saturday night.
I
Yeah.
still want to
Saturday.
see them in the playoffs because to me, Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson, they benefited from a fucking onside kick.
I know,
Okay,
Scott, but still,
but still, think of that.
it,
Look at that last throw.
they
I was,
still,
yeah, that's great,
yeah.
but that onside kick is what prompted that. If you don't get that onside kick, you don't have anything else.
Probably.
Right. I mean, Green Bay wins that game, but here's the thing. I've always am a believer of this too, where um, they still had to drive down the field, even albeit half the field. They got the ball mid whatever it was, but I think in clutch time against a division opponent and all those things riding on the importance of that game to be able to, they pulled it out. You know what I mean? Like Scott, I agree. The onside kick is 5 for 58 or whatever the NFL stat is this year, and it's fortunate to even have a chance to recover an onside kick, but they still had to go down and drive and get the game. And they did.
I agree with that, but like it goes to me with like Carolina too. Like Carolina now has the upper hand on the Buccaneers.
Yeah,
They won't
yeah.
win the division.
But
Well, they still They play each other in the last
yeah, I was gonna
week.
say if
So
Carolina doesn't win
yeah,
next week against Seattle, then they have to go to Tampa Bay, and Tampa Bay might beat them. So it's one of
And I
those
think they
things
will.
where there's a lot of stuff that goes on that I would love to say is great. Seattle beat the Rams, and the Rams have been the number one seed, and they beat them, fair and square, just like Green Bay beat, or just like Chicago beat
yeah.
Green Bay.
Here's
I just don't look at either of those teams as being,
Well, I think that's a lot
tight.
of the league, Scott. I think a lot there's, like, I don't know if you had to put money down right now on, I was just saying this yesterday, like who the hell's going to represent the Super Bowl for both conferences? And it's like,
Right.
it's not easy
It's
to
wide
pick.
open.
It's not. It's wide open, which is exciting.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's weird. I think we're so used to having those dominant teams, and you kind of want those in a way because I don't know. It's a weird, like, even because our teams are nowhere near this shit, it's weird. Like I think I usually just try to go like against the teams that I don't like, and all that. But this is one of those years where, like, I don't know, man. I want to bring up a couple things. I was going to mention Caleb Williams. So you got, Novak, you just did that. I was impressed with two other guys. I was impressed with one, and Novak, you're not going to like this. Drake May.
Yeah.
Drake fucking May. I don't care that Lamar Jackson went out last night. I know that he went out injured. If you guys, I don't know, our listeners, whatever, watch that game. This New England Patriot team and Drake
They're
May,
for real.
this guy, the guy's good. The guy's really good.
He is.
And I've been the same thing, like not ready to kind of give him nah, man, I'm not sold on this guy. I'm not buying it. It's not, the guy's just good. He
Yep.
made some plays and made some throws that, holy shit, like it's the first I watched that entire game and I'm like, God damn, this guy's good. Patriots are good. Vrabel, like that's a team and a franchise. They're the complete opposite of the Jets and Giants. We're like everything they do. No, they just win, Scott. Like they were down for a couple of years and they got right back. And now they're like in a position to win the goddamn 1 seed. I know Denver's holding onto it right now. And before I get finished, but the other guy I was happy about, Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars going into Denver.
Yeah, that was awesome.
For some reason, fuck Denver. I don't know why I don't know why. I was really pulling for Jacksonville hard in that game. I found myself, I don't know why. I'm one of those guys, I usually whoever the media decides to murder, I usually defend and protect that and want to root for that guy. And Trevor Lawrence is one of those guys that's just been murdered by the media. And I don't think he's nearly as underachieving as the media will make it out to be. I think the guy is, he's had some decent seasons. He hasn't been maybe the number, because he was number one, right? Lawrence went number one overall. Okay, maybe has he lived up to that?
No,
Probably not. He hasn't.
but this year,
but
yes.
And I'm saying who knows? They may fizzle out by the end of this year. But for one Sunday, and last week he also had 5 touchdowns, right? Against I forget who they beat last week.
The Jets.
The Jets. What am I saying? Yeah. That's why it was so forgettable. But that's who I had in my notes. I wanted to mention Drake May and Lawrence for winning both road games yesterday.
One thing I have to point out about that, the Patriots Ravens game. So the Ravens had a 2-score lead, and John Harbaugh decided not to run
Derrick Henry.
He did not run Derrick Henry after he had the 2-score lead.
In fact, he wasn't even on the field.
And Derrick Henry had 2 touchdowns prior to that.
Yep.
So why would you not run your best player with a 2-score lead to at least run clock? I don't get this. These coaches over and over again keep making these decisions, and it's like I don't understand what you're doing. And then, like, to what you're saying, Cardone, Drake May and the Patriots came right down, and they ended up winning.
Harbaugh has this tendency when, with the exception of the Super Bowl year, when it gets a little tight or things get a little like he tends to make poor decisions.
Yeah.
Like, you think of all the years that Lamar Jackson has lost in the playoffs and some of the questionable decision making we are with that too. And now their playoff lives are on the line and they're not playing their best player. Like, it made no sense. Like,
not at all.
Now Henry had another fumble lost earlier in the game.
He did, but it was early on.
Possibly, right.
It was early on.
But that's the only. I was trying to think. What is this? The Belichick thing, where like you fumble the ball once, that's it. You don't see the field again the rest of the night.
It's a Hall of Famer. Like,
exactly.
It's Derrick Henry. Like,
it made no sense.
It wasn't even Derrick Henry. They didn't run anyone.
No.
He decided to throw the ball.
It made no sense. It's questionable stuff from a guy who has proven himself, obviously, in Harbaugh. So I don't know, guys. As fans, all you could do is scratch your head. I mean, but I caught a little bit of the. National media and stuff around about that. And it was the same question that was going around every network. They were just like, what in the world is Derrick Henry not doing in the game and not getting the ball? It makes no sense, man. I don't know.
No.
Doesn't.
I just don't understand. And can we talk about the end of the Steeler Lion game?
Oh my God.
You want to go there next? I mean,
yeah, go for
were you guys watching that live?
I was not. Go for it.
I was watching it live, and it is so. So you know the scenario, right? Obviously, the
OPI,
which is a miracle, 2 OPIs. So Rex Ryan was breaking it down, right? I heard his take this morning, and he was saying the one on the first one on Tesla. Is that how you say the guy's name? Tesla. About the little pick play or whatever. He was saying that he didn't think it was that bad. Actually, he said that I don't know who
I thought it was incidental. I don't think they like.
Well, when I first saw it, it looked like it was kind of intentional, and he was, making a beeline to kind of pick the guy. But then looking at it again, Rex Ryan, from as the defensive-minded coach, he's saying that's on the fucking defensive back. He's got to go. He's trying to undercut that there. He needs to go around. He was in a bad position. Tesla has every right to make that. To like, if that's his route,
he was just running. He wasn't
correct.
doing. He wasn't.
He
blocking.
has every right to make that. If that's his route pattern or whatever, and he didn't. So I thought about it again. I'm like, holy shit! Like, Rex is making a good argument here. Like, because at first I was thinking like, oh man, that's a pick play. He knew what he was doing. That's they got the right call. I'm not so sure about that. And then the end of the game, it's a little bit of my pet peeve, so I don't want to go too much into it as far as the last play of the game. But I do want to say this. And again, I'm not picking on Detroit fans, so to speak. I'm picking on the dumb NFL fan, if you will. I don't know if you saw this, Novak, but like there was a 5-minute intervention with the officials on the last play of the game where there was a flag and it was OPA on St. Brown, and then so the officials call. They said the touchdown was good after the lateral with Goff, and Pittsburgh defenders are standing around. So the crowd is like cheering, but he's like, offensive pass interference on number 14, and so and he's like touchdown. The crowd's still cheering, thinking like you didn't win the game, assholes. The game's over. Like you have a penalty on the offense. The play doesn't count, losers. Like the game's over. Because the official said touchdown, the crowd's just cheering. Did you see this?
Yes, I
They're
did.
just, and I'm thinking to myself, dude, like, yo, people, like,
I
that
still
game
have
had
a-
everything. You had DK Metcalf punching people in the stands. I mean, that
That
game was wild.
and
Yeah,
the dick, of course,
the dick.
is
Oh,
gonna
my God.
gonna
I
win.
I still have a question about that though, because they called they called a penalty on the last play of the game that was a positive result for the offense, and yet they said this is not reviewable and the game is over. I always thought that if you had a penalty, you would replay the down.
It's no,
And
because what happens is because think about if that's in the middle of the game, let's say that time, the amount of seconds that it takes to run that play, they don't come back. So in
no,
essence, even though so the play exists, right? So as the time is clicking down, by the time Goff gets in the end zone, there's zeros on the clock. So even though there's a penalty on this is my understanding of it. I'm not saying this is what I heard or whatever. This is I think am I right, guy? Because the play essentially happens that time comes off in real game time, and then by the time the play's over, there's zeros on the clock. The game's over. That's how I
Is that
think
how
that's
that
how
is?
I think so.
I don't
Huh.
know.
I honestly
Because
don't
think
know.
about it, guys. Let's say that's in the middle of the third quarter and there's 9:13 left on the clock. I'm just making up a time.
Sure.
And so if Goff scores the touchdown and there's 9:13, let's say when the clock stops, he scores a touchdown.
Right.
So when they go back and then say, well, offensive pass
Offensive pass
interference
interference.
number 14, like wherever the clock was, that's where it
started.
stays until the
Yeah,
next play.
but that's
So
the
wouldn't it be
same.
the same thing in this instance? Because well,
That's a
there's
good
zeros
point.
on the clock, so the game's over.
But that's the same that would happen if it was a defensive penalty. But they always give the grace because it's a
I know.
penalty. They said, okay,
I,
we'll replay the down. You know what I mean?
I do, Scott. Again, this is kind of going into my pet peeve a little bit, where like what these like critical calls where especially at the end, like the last play of the game, for example, where it's so magnified that like no one really knows what the
Right.
freaking rule is,
Right.
and so the players, fans, even like it's so. I don't know. That's my understanding, or at least that's my interpretation. Is that well, once there's zeros on it, like had there even been like if Goff goes in the end zone and there's 4 seconds left, well, I think they would have 4 seconds still, but because he scored, there was zero on the clock. What are you supposed to? How is that time supposed to get back on the clock?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I will say this. We talked about a lot of the games, but Carolina beat Tampa
Yeah.
Bay, and now Tampa Bay has to beat Carolina going back. Um, there's a there's a good chance now Tampa Bay is going to be the South winner.
Well, I don't know if it's a good chance. I mean, Carolina still owns.
Yeah. I mean, they
They're
got the lead now.
yeah, they have the lead. Carolina just has to win next week, right? Against Seattle.
Well, but they're playing Seattle. Yeah.
Okay, but I mean, they have to win one of their last two games.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay has to hope Tampa Bay has to win out and hope that Carolina loses one of the two. I would imagine being
Right.
the game against Tampa.
Yeah.
I agree. I think Tampa Bay's still going to win the division, but credit goes to the Panthers, man. I can't.
Well, I
believe
guess
that-
if they well here you got to look at like if they split because they can end up with the same record, I guess, right? Yeah.
Well, Carolina is only a game ahead right now.
Right. So if they both won or lost, and then it comes down, next week, and then it comes down to the final week in Tampa, and then Tampa wins that, well, then they would have the same record,
Correct.
and they would have beat each other. Then it comes down to division record and stuff.
Right.
I don't know who has the tiebreaker at that point. I'd have to look that
I
up.
think it's Tampa, actually.
Okay.
But
yeah.
this weekend it comes down to if Carolina beats Seattle and Tampa loses, which they're not going to, Atlanta, I want to say, then it's over.
Tampa's got Miami.
They'll win that game. Good
yeah,
bird.
you would think.
So it's a little bit tight here because Mike's not here, but doing predictions, we
Uh-oh.
will have to put our predictions on record.
Yep.
Um, so I don't know how where we are
Well,
in
I think from last week, I'm not really sure.
Cardone
I know
definitely
I
has to
went,
be on first.
I think Cardone's
I,
still in first.
I
Yeah.
had a I had a
Oh,
4-0 weekend, I think.
you did?
I
You picked
did. I had
oh, that's right. You picked the Jets and the Giants to lose, and
no,
you picked
yeah. And I had it was barely I had Houston as my lock and they barely
I
won,
had
but
Houston as my lock. I picked the
yeah.
Jets to lose, and I picked the Giants to win like an idiot.
I had the
So
Giants. I'm looking at my scores from last week. I had the Giants losing, I had the Jets losing,
yeah, so
and
you
I
were
had
4-0.
Houston.
I
So
was
yeah,
3-1. Scott, what were you? You
I
picked
think
the
I
Jets.
would
You picked
I
the
did
Jets
pick
to
the
win,
Jets, yeah.
and you picked the
So
Giants to lose. And who
I
was your
think I
lock?
I think I got my lock who was Houston
You
maybe.
picked, yeah, I had Houston too.
someone else had Houston. Oh, you did. Okay.
Mike had the Cowboys as his lock, so they lost.
Oh,
But
geez, did he?
yeah, but
Yeah.
I believe that he picked the Jets and Giants to lose.
I don't remember. Yeah, Mike is our keeper of this
Yeah.
stuff. I don't know.
So let's just go with the fact that it's probably Cardone in first. Scott, you go next, and I'll go last because
Yeah.
All right.
I still think I'm trailing.
That sounds good.
All right. This is I'm going to keep our pattern going. I'll start with the Jets. Um, they're not beating New England. New England has everything to play for. Jets have nothing to play for.
And the
So
Jets are trying to lose, so
yeah, no reason to. I mean, I have it, as a modest blowout. I got New England 28-13 going into Met Death there. So the Jets don't have stand a chance against a very good and very hot New England team. And as far as the Giants, I, I mean, as gross as the Raiders are, I want the Giants to lose. I need them to lose. I'm picking them to lose. I just want everything losing for the Giants. I have them only scoring 10 points. I have Vegas 19-10. So I got another weekend of both Jets and Giants losing. And I know I lost my lock a few weeks ago, so I kind of reset also. I'm doubling down. I'm going with New England as my lock. So I think I don't know if I've picked them. I'm pretty sure I haven't
I don't think you have.
at all. So yeah, so New England is I'm doubling down on New England. They're my lock. And so Scott, over to you.
Yeah. So I'll take the Giants game first. Giants Vegas. Look, I'm trying to decipher what happened in that last game that we just saw against the Vikings. And I think and I'm hoping that it was we are we're tanking. We're tanking. This is what happening.
Yeah.
We're tanking. And if it's not, I'm going to be really pissed because then I'm going to be like, "What the fuck were you doing in the Viking game if you decide to win against the Raiders?"
It's true.
So I'm taking the Raiders and I'm taking them 20-10. Um, and then in the second game, I'm taking the New England Patriots to win 30-17, and the Patriots are my lock.
All right.
All right, so me, I will start with the Giant game. This is the game of the century. Uh, in some
It
respects,
is.
the two worst teams in the league. Whoever loses this game is going to be the number one draft choice. There's no doubt in my mind. So, because of that, I feel like I said last week, the Giants are going to screw me like they're screwing you. I think the Giants are going to go up and win this game. I'm going to keep picking the Giants until they actually win. So I'm going to take the Giants here, and I think they're going to actually
Jeez.
wipe the floor with the Raiders,
No,
31 to 10.
that's crazy.
For the Jets, I think the Jets are going to get absolutely blown out in this game. I think this is if I'm a Patriots fan, this is where they just kick us and like they have for the last 25 years. I'm going to take the Patriots here 45-3 over the Jets. This is an absolute ass kicking. And then my lock, I'm going to take the Rams as a lock because I believe they play
Yeah, who they got?
someone. I wrote down
Oh, they
Rams.
got the Falcons. Oh,
They're
that's the
gonna,
Monday night game.
yeah, I'm going to take the Rams over the
Okay.
Falcons.
All right. So pet peeves. I'm going to start here. My pet peeve is actually Jonathan Vilma.
Ugh.
And this guy, he's so bad. When Dart threw a pass to Theo Johnson. It bounced off Theo Johnson's hands and was an interception. Vilma called it Dart's fault. And he went in with this sort of theory that Dart was off. So there was a play earlier in the game where Dart went back and he actually I don't know if you guys saw this, but he changed his arm angle to throw the ball.
Did see it. Yes.
And it was incomplete. And it wasn't a great play at all, but if that was Mahomes, they would have been going off about, oh, he changed his arm angle here. Look at this. Woo! And Dart does this and they're like, oh, Dart's forcing the ball to his player.
Yeah.
So they said that, and then once again, after that, they started talking about him forcing it here, forcing it there, forcing it everywhere else. Jonathan Vilma, you are a bad player. You're a terrible announcer, and you create these like scenarios that you want to talk about, and you will stick with them no matter what. And that's my biggest problem is just Jonathan Vilma. Vilma is he's a moron,
He
and
is awful.
and
He's
and it's
terrible.
terrible. It's terrible. And this guy is on week in and week out as one of the
He
teams.
won't be. He won't be. He's at the bottom of the barrel. That's why he's getting the Giant game. I mean, someone's
Yeah.
going to come in from that's going to retire this year, like a Kirk Cousins or someone like that, to push him down even more. He'll be out next year.
Yeah,
What do you? How much lower can you go?
I don't know what Vilma's contract is or how long he's under. Like this, he's got to go, man.
He's
He
gonna be.
is. Yeah.
He's gonna be. He's gonna be doing Arkansas State and
I mean,
Arkansas Pine Bluff next year.
bring back Dennis Miller.
Yeah.
When
I mean, he's so
when
bad.
when Monday Night hired him. Yeah, he's the worst. I won't even say among the worst. I told you guys. I watched in multi-view and had volume on the other games. I can't. There's no way I'm going to listen to Vilma.
Although he might be better than the guy I had, which is Ross Tucker. That fucking guy. I sent you guys a text. He was singing a Paula Abdul song, like that straight up song. He's singing verses from that and like dancing. And I was like, what are we doing? This is the NFL, and Ross Tucker's singing Paula Abdul. Knock it off. Get out of here.
Straight up now tell me.
Yeah, it was that.
Oh man.
So Novak, pet peeves?
Yep. I got one quick one that I saw on I didn't watch much of the Giant game. I really didn't. I had a hard time. It was so freaking boring. The Jets was worse too, but so I saw the one stat that came up that said, and I texted you guys about this. It said the Giants hold the league record for most turnovers on downs inside the 20 since about 2000 was the stat. About. So what are we just giving up? Are we just trying to find are we doing ranges now? Like what are we doing? That we're just trying to find these stats that put the Giants and the Jets down in particular? Have you ever seen that before?
No.
About.
What's an about range?
Approximately.
What's the range here? Is it 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? I have no idea. So that was my first one. I was like, come on, like, get it right. Like, it's not that hard. You can put it in Grok and it'll tell you exactly when it was. So my bigger pet peeve, though, is what I alluded to earlier. I hate more than anything this 17 game schedule. How do we still have 2 more weeks of football?
Oh, that's terrible.
15 to 17, really just bad teams. Everything's locked up. So week 17 is basically an exhibition week for 30 of 32 teams. What is the point? I liked the 8-8, the 7-9, the 6-10, the 15-1. Like, why do we have this off-kilter odd number of 17? Go back to the way it was. It was so good the way it was.
Perfect.
Why did it need to change? Someone explain to me. Because now you guys play this like one team from the AFC and a different conference. Why?
Yep. Why? It's not right. It's not even an interconference game. You know what I mean? Where it's at least intra conference, whatever. It's just this random game. It just does. Yeah, man, it doesn't make sense. I don't know, dude. 16 was perfect. It's an even number. 8 home games, 8 away games. It's what we've had forever. There's 16 teams in each conference. You play everyone once, and then you have it's the
Every
schedule
division's
rotation is
four teams
perfect.
in every division.
Yep.
Like it.
Yep.
Why do we go to 17? And now all the records that people have had are
Yep.
like for years and years and years that you could say Eric Dickerson, had all this rushing yardage in 16 games. Well, now we're at 17 games, so it's not the same thing.
But yet it doesn't seem like they talk about that when they bring up records. Really, I mean, I don't
No,
know. They don't mention the extra game. Baseball, my God, we had to hear about 61 for decades.
exactly. So no, I hate the 17 game season. Just they're going to go to 18 and it's going to be even worse, but they should just never don't change it. Ugh,
Uh,
it's annoying.
it's the NFL, man.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
all about
That's
money.
all about the
I mean,
dollar.
it's money. I mean, we got games on Netflix on Christmas. I mean, get
Oh,
the
that's fun. Oh,
I know we'll bring that up probably too with the upcoming games this week, which is weird. The games are on a Wednesday, right? Well, no, wait, Christmas is Thursday. Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cardone, pet peeve?
Yeah. Yeah. So this one, mine, it's funny. I don't even know how to word my pet peeve, if you will. So I'm going all the way back to Thursday night. I feel like I've had a few of these. We're going back to the Thursday night game. So everyone's got to stretch their memory back a few nights. But the way that was another ridiculously wild game that I found
Awesome.
myself watching the entire Rams Seahawk game. And if everyone remembers that somehow my pet peeve is just a couple things. I want to, just like I mentioned in a peeve, I think last week or the week before, where like it's the same thing where like they don't want to the officiating. I don't want to. It's not about the officiating really. It's more about what happens after or during a play, and then after a play where the players don't know what to do. No one really knows the rules. I'm talking about the 2-point conversion that Seattle had that was overturned. After looking at replay, the ball is hitting off a fucking defender's helmet. Everyone, what really my pet peeve is that how many times do you see in a game an obvious incomplete pass where a quarterback is getting hit, but the ball comes flying forward, and defenders are pouncing all over the ball, right? You see that all the time. So why is it then in a play like this on the 2-point conversion where the players, they don't know the rules? A couple things going on in that play. If everyone remembers, Seattle needed to. They scored a touchdown. They had to come back in the fourth quarter. The Rams were somehow blowing this game. The Seahawks come down. They need 2 to tie the game. They throw a little lateral pass, which couple things. They never call that a lateral pass. On this one, somehow they change it, just like they never call the safety that I mentioned with Dak Prescott. It's like, no. The guy's got to be 3 yards in the end zone to call the safety. Same kind of thing on this play, where more often than not, it looks like the quarterback in those questionable ones where I've seen much more egregious ones where that's a backward pass, and they call it incomplete. This one, only the game, division, seeding, lives are on the line, and they're deciding to change this. I looked at that play. That looked completely parallel. They called it on the field. Like, I think in live, they called it. No, they didn't blow the whistle. So what happened was they must have thought it was maybe a lateral pass, or did they call it a forward pass? I'm trying to even remember now. I'm blowing up my own pet peeve here. But
no, they called it an incomplete pass. Yes.
Right.
And then they changed it to behind the backwards pass.
A backward pass. And what's crazy about that play is everyone just stops, right?
Yeah.
All the players just stop, and somehow they reverse this call, and they grant and reward Seattle for the 2 points there. Meanwhile, and then Charbonnet, if you guys remember, the running back just kind of casually goes over and picks up the ball and just thinks like, hey, look what I found. And then on the broadcast, Al Michaels is gaslighting us by fucking saying, what a heads up play by Charbonnet.
Presence of mind, he said.
Michaels. Charbonnet didn't even know he didn't even know what happened.
He was picking up to give it to the ref.
Correct.
He wasn't.
And he's getting credit from Michaels that what a heads up play. He didn't even know what happened.
Yep.
Oh my God. I have a ton of problems with that play, beginning with the fact that they say it's continuing action.
Yeah.
That's not continuing action. Everyone stops. Once they hear the whistle, they stop.
Well, I guess there was no whistle, but there's so many things going on in that play where I swear to God, if anything, it's almost as if they have to just reset and say, it's a do-over. We're going to do a do-over. Everyone stopped. We don't know what we're doing. The officials didn't know what was happening. The players didn't know what was happening. The coaches don't know what's happening. No one knows what's happening. And they're just going to trot up 2 points on the scoreboard for the Seahawks to tie the game, who'll eventually end up winning in overtime. But like that probably cost the Rams a 1 seed, perhaps.
100% it did.
I mean, and now it's unbelievable. They just to give them 2 points on that play. It's insane. I kept thinking to myself, I'm watching just as a fan, I'm thinking if I'm a diehard Ram fan, how do you sleep that night with that call?
Man, if you're a Ram fan, you're fucked.
Yeah,
How do you
well, here's the thing, and you're so right about the Charbonnet thing. I noticed that immediately. I was like,
right?
he didn't. If he had
He
like dove on the ball, like he
Correct.
thought maybe this is a backward pass, then okay, fine. He like bent over to pick it up just because it was in front of him. Like
Exactly. He just bent over to, like you said, just pick up the ball, look around. No one high-fived him. No one. He didn't show it to the. He didn't go take the ball to show it to the ref. I got the ball. Put up your hands. 2 points.
Right.
He didn't. No one knew what was going on.
No.
And Al Michaels is telling like what
Presence
a heads
of
up
mind.
play. Knock it off, dude. Knock it off, Michaels.
That was the worst. I agree with you on that.
Oh God.
Yeah, that was hard to see just because if they had just let it go the way it was originally called, is anyone complaining about that?
No. Again, we've talked about this on our pod many, many times where like that's one of those where like no one on the sideline, no one on the Seattle sidelines. Like,
I wouldn't
what
have
the
thought
fuck are you
twice.
doing? Are you crazy? You can't make that call. You can't call that. You can't blow that play dead. Are you out of your mind? No one's doing that.
Nope.
Everyone's standing around like just nothing. Nope. And that's one of those where it's such a awkward play. It's such a blown up play. The crowd is now cheering that it was a lateral pass where 99 out of 100 times you're like petrified that it's going to be a backward pass because, oh my God, we just lost a fumble. But you know what I mean? Like one of those plays
Totally.
and they get the benefit of that call and get 2 points. It's absurd. It's absurd.
It's absurd. I'm glad Seattle won, but I hate the way that they won that game for sure.
Yep. Ah.
So we got a lot of questions tonight. Peacock asks, what is most likely to be the first two are for the Jets.
Uh-huh.
What is most likely to be the Jets quarterback next year? Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Mendoza, or Cook?
Definitely not Cook. I don't think Burrow. I definitely don't think Lamar Jackson. So I think the most likely of those four is Mendoza. Just because I think if the Giants can just find it in their fucking heads to lose this weekend, I do 100% believe, good burp again. I believe that the Jets will trade with the Giants to get Mendoza. I do believe that. So that's the most likely scenario.
Yeah.
And you guys should be thrilled with that scenario.
Thrilled.
Will you trade with the Raiders too?
Well, of course we would, but the Raiders won't. Why would the Raiders do that? You don't need. You're in such a great position. If I would rather have the number one draft choice in your position than I would for a team that actually needs a quarterback, because you are just going to get a haul if you can just hold on, keep that number one position. Yeah. And then it might not be the Jets. Maybe it's the Browns. Maybe it's the Titans. Maybe it's
I don't care
Raiders.
Who.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. The Jets have the most to give you. But other than that, you're going to get a haul.
Yeah.
As a Giant fan, right? Those teams, those are AFC teams, whatever. I don't care. I don't care. Like whoever wants to give us the most. It's like selling a house. Biggest bidder. Who do you got?
Well,
I don't care.
I was listening to The Fan this week, and people were like, "Well, the Giants don't want to help the Jets." I'm like, they don't give a shit. They're in the AFC.
Who cares?
As long as it helps them, what do they care?
Oh God.
So Peacock asks questions, not us, but he asks, who has a stronger pulse, the Jets offense or Rob Reiner?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean,
like I said,
Peacock, what are you doing, bro? I mean, come on.
I like Rob Reiner, man. That's awful.
I do too. I mean, why did you?
I'm just throwing it out there.
I mean, the Jets scored 6 points. I'm going with the Jets. What do you want? That wasn't zero.
6-0. Got to go with the Jets.
Okay. So Peacock also asks, who has a better chance at the 2026 playoffs? Giants, Jets, or Cowboys?
Oh,
And actually, I, look, if I have to be honest, Cowboys do.
Cowboys, of course. There's nothing even like Cowboys by a mile. Yeah, Cowboys easily.
You know what? Who I'm going to say? I'm going to say the Giants. And
Really?
the reason I say the Giants is because it all 100% depends on who you bring as a coach. If you get an
Maybe.
established
I
coach and
mean,
a decent GM in there with the talent that you do have, and Scattaboo and Neighbors come back, and Dart already, and Wandale Robinson, number 2 receiver. I mean, I could go through the laundry list of reasons. I think the Giants have the best chance of those three. The Cowboys are, remember I gave you the cap numbers for the Jets and the Giants? The Cowboys were 32nd. They're $47 million over the cap next year.
yeah.
They're in cap hell. I don't see the Cowboys being any good next year. I think the Giants of those three for sure.
Can I say something real quick, which is fucking hilarious again? So the Giants, right, worst team in the league.
Yep.
They're gonna right. They're gonna have the worst record again this year. Do you know? Just looking at what has happened in the standings this year, the Giants are probably going to end up with the fucking toughest schedule again. Do you want to know why? Because we're playing our favorite division. We're playing the AFC South next year, thinking like that's usually like, oh, that's a cream puff division. No, you got the fucking Jack 11-4, 10-5, 8-6. All right, you got the Titans, big deal. And then the other division we play is the NFC West. The NFC West, outside of Arizona, you got to deal with the
You've got the
12-3,
Niners, the Rams, and the
11-4.
Seahawks.
You got to see, yeah, that's our schedule again. It doesn't stop. And then throw in, of course, you play the Eagles twice instead. The Giants, maybe not the hardest, but the Giants are going to be again like in the top 5 hardest schedules. Like and people don't realize, well, how can that be? You got a last place schedule. No, there is no fucking such thing. Like we gotta play.
That's unbelievable.
You think AFC South is usually like kind of like it's a little bit more of the cream puff division.
That's the one we make fun of.
No, exactly. Jags, Texans, and Colts. Who wants to play any of those teams right now?
No, you're right. I can't believe that.
It's relentless. Anyway, go ahead, Scott. I just wanted to throw that in because I happened to notice that the other day, and I was just laughing again. It hasn't been brought up at all, but we're going to be like the season ends in 2 weeks, and they'll come out with the this or the opponents and who you play and all that, and they'll give the strength of schedule right away because you'll know who you're playing. Doesn't matter the dates; that has nothing to do with it. And I'm telling you, the Giants are going to be right there, and it's going to be like, how the hell the Giants have the hardest schedule again? It's coming. It's coming again. We can't get a fucking break.
No, you're fine. Like my
can't get a break.
My friend Mike asked a question. It's a lot of questions here. He asked, "What is the most foul odor that best describes our teams? Is it the warehouse of dirty diapers being full? Is it the dumpster of rotting fish on a hot day being up there? Or is it I don't know the last one here.
Well, let's just go with one of them. Either one.
Is it the crowded, unventilated room of people with BO or bad breath?
So how many people are we talking about?
Those are the three. Those are the 3 choices you have.
I'm going to go with the dumpster for the Jets because they've been a dumpster fire for years.
I'm going with the crowded, unventilated room of people with bad breath and BO. Why not?
Yeah, sure.
You know why? Because I'm going with the Seinfeld episode where the valet guy had BO. Remember that one, of course. So
what is that smell? I think it's BO.
BO. This is BBO, beyond BO. And he has the
That's the best.
H&D.
I love that.
Just one. All right, one whiff. And he's begging Jerry to open up the door. I'm going with bad BO. That's the Giants. Bad B. They're going with valet bad BO from whatever the restaurant was where Jerry parked had the valet park his car. And
And then it
he just had to like get rid of his car. He just had to give it away.
and then it got into Lane's hair.
Yeah, Lane's
Yeah.
hair.
Yep.
She went to like have to a salon to have it professionally washed. The guy still's like, no, it still stinks. That's the Giants.
So uh there's a well how do I say this? Um
Just read it.
well it's from my friend Mike. He asks, is there a type of cold cut that you could eat all the time, and what is it?
Type of cold cut.
So for me, type of cold cut I like, I'll tell you right now, Genoa salami.
Oh, that's not bad. So it's just I have to just pick my favorite cold cut or
Your
something, or
favorite
just
cold cut, I think.
maybe give me like I like maybe like hickory smoked or mesquite like turkey. Just give me like a nice thin
Mesquite
shaving.
turkey.
Yeah, it's got to be like hickory smoked or something like that. So give me I could eat turkey over I don't know anything else I think.
Give
But
me
if
a good
yeah,
give me a good capicola. I like that.
there you go.
I like capicola too. I was thinking about like something else, but you can't always do that. So my friend Ogre asks, what is one player from the past that you could take and add to your roster? And I thought about this, as a Giant fan. I'm not taking LT. I'm actually going to take Eli.
Nothing wrong with that.
One
So
player from the Jets or
from my own team, yeah.
One
yeah.
player from your team.
Oh, from the past that I could add to this roster in their
Yeah.
prime. Hmm. That's a really good question because I don't really have a great quarterback in my history. Um,
That's why
shit.
I took Eli.
Yeah.
I would. I'm gonna go with Joe Klecko just because I can't think of anyone else right now, and we could use a good interior defensive lineman.
You love Joe Klecko.
I do. I love Klecko.
Klecko's good. I obviously, Manning or Sims comes to mind for at the quarterback. I'm gonna go. I'll go a different route other than quarterback. But I'm going. There's lots of guys, but if I have to go back to my favorite time team is the '86 team all time, and give me Mark Bavaro, man. I just loved Mark Bavaro was the quintessential tough tight end. I just loved everything about the guy, everything about Mark Bavaro. I mean, I know he wasn't the flashiest or even the best tight end maybe in his day in the league, but first, but as far as like just toughness and like giant core type of player, I'll take Bavaro.
Yeah. And
Can I
so
since he played for the Jets, can I take the 2012 Dick instead of when he played for the Jets, Aaron? I mean,
oh, you
Why not?
he did
always
play for
can.
the Jets, right? So if that's the case,
Take it.
I'll take Aaron Rodgers in his prime.
Prime, you could take Prime Dick.
Sure.
Yeah, take it.
There you go. I would absolutely do that.
So our friends Chris Coons asks a really good question here. What makes a diehard fan? What defines a diehard fan?
Well, this probably comes from our absolutely ripping of this Jaguars fan from Mully's 2 weeks ago. This poor guy. I hope he didn't listen to the pod because
This
he
guy
probably went to
has
the
no
fetal
idea.
position, but hopefully not. Um, Look, I thought that was a really good question. I'm really curious to see what Cardone has to say about this because definitely has an opinion on this. For me, a diehard fan has to know at least the basics of who we play the next week, who is everyone on the team. I don't feel like you need to know the full on history, but you can never, and on top of that, you need to at least know all the players. You need to watch every game with, like it's religion, and you need to have been a fan of that team since day one. If you've ever switched, you're not a real fan, in my opinion. Those are my three things that jump to
Yeah.
my mind.
Oh,
Cardone?
Yeah.
Cardone, I'll step in here. I agree
Go
with
ahead.
Novak. No,
Yeah.
I think that's perfectly well stated.
Yeah.
you really have to almost step in and say, "Hey,
It's kind of like I don't know. It's almost like it's an intangible thing in a way.
Yeah.
One of my old friends. I think I've mentioned it before. It's just it's something I always think about. It's that mongoloid factor. The
Yep.
mongoloid factor is like kind of a made up thing that we had where it's the you're a life you're just a lifelong fan, and it's usually, it's something that you were born into, like kind of like that kid who was like, I was born into this. I'm always a Jet fan. I hate this team. It's when you have such an attachment to your team, even when as bad as things are, and
Yep.
things have been as bad as they have been for the Jets and Giants for years now, and the Giants are in their lowest of lows in our entire lifetimes, and yet I would never give up on this team. It's just
Hmm.
it's a lifelong commitment.
Yep.
I mean, I've made the joke many times. I've made the joke on this pod that you can change religions, you can change your spouse, you
Yep.
can change your fucking gender, and like, but you cannot change the team that you are commit like a lifelong fandom of. If you are a true fan, you
Yep.
can't just wake up one day and be a fucking fan of a different team.
You
And
cannot.
so that's what it is. It's when that is it's an identity. It's absolutely eh, there's no other way that I can there's no real one answer to that. Who asked that? Kuntz?
Coons did. I think it's
Yeah.
a fair question because we did rip the New England fans, that were playing pool during the game. I mean, I think too, if you're watching a game and you're nodding off, you're not a real fan. Let's just call it what it is,
Right.
right?
Yes. Yeah.
Because I mean that just says right there, not into it, not a big fan, all of the above.
All the above, man. So,
So
yeah, man.
any more
I
questions,
think
Scott?
a real fan,
no,
when
no
you
more
can laugh like
questions."
this and our team's 2-13, I guess I don't know, man. Uh, are we 2-13? I don't even know what our record
Yeah,
is.
you're two,
No, we're
Two and
two and
13.
13.
third and
Yeah,
13. Yep.
had to think. Jets
Uh,
are what? 2-13. What are the Jets?
We're
Two and
three
13.
and 12. We have
Oh, you are
one
3 and
more win
12.
than you.
That's right. Wow. Okay.
So yeah,
All
no,
right.
no questions.
All
All right.
right.
Well, I guess we're wrapping up.
Are we wrapping? Yeah.
I think we are.
All right.
All right. Well,
Well,
thank you. Thanks for everyone for listening and Merry Christmas. And
Merry Christmas. We'll come back next week.
that's right.
yep. Everyone have a Merry Christmas.
Enjoy
And
it.
everybody, sure we watching the games on Thursday, Christmas Day.
Those
And we'll
three
be back.
shitty games.
Yeah. We'll be back next week. All right.
That's
Merry
it.
Christmas, everyone.
All right.
All
Merry
right.
Christmas.